What's up, guys? We're back for round three.
All right.
Hey, look, so I've got like nothing but incredible responses, positive. I was just telling Chad, positive stuff from the last two sessions we've done on GMB rankings and all like the crazy tricks and tips that Chad's shared with you guys and shared with me. And so we're talking, and I know he's got a ton up his sleeve. So we're going to come to you with 6 awesome new tips today to add into your little toolbox. Now, if you haven't watched session 1 or session 2, I recommend it before maybe even watching this. Of course, you can watch this today live, but I definitely want you to go back and check out those other 2. I'll leave a link in this description today for the resource page where we've kind of basically put those 2 live videos from last week with all the resources and links that Chad's sharing in the free live. So today we're going to come back. I'm going to let Chad kind of give us a rundown of what he's going to teach us today, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, good to have everybody on. Okay, so here's the first thing. Actually, some of you might have got an email about this, but I want to briefly just go over this is like one of my tricks for getting citations really fast. And we emailed people this morning the video, but if you didn't get it and watch it yet, it's getting 5,000 citations in really just a few days. Citations are your name, address, and business phone number listed all over the internet. Okay, then second, I want to give you a tip for using my software, that free software that we've been talking about, to find people that are not claimed and to quickly contact them. It's a great way to pick up clients. It's a great way to get a quick win. You can charge them just to claim their listing. So we're going to talk about how to use the software for that. 3, we're going to talk about using LinkedIn. This is some of my LinkedIn tricks for finding decision makers. And it's a tactic a lot of people don't really know about it, but it's a great way to get clients. Then I'm also going to talk about ranking YouTube for local. And this is a crucial way you can get more real estate on the first page of Google. And then we're going to talk about more Wikipedia stuff, some foreign language Wikipedia stuff that probably no one's ever heard of. And then I got a local guide trick for you as well for actually how you can convert some of these lead gen properties from local guides that might not be claimed and postcard verify them and everything. So we can just dive in.
Perfect.
But I don't know if I want to talk about the software first, but real quick.
Yeah, well, maybe that, but I was going to tell everyone too, I'm going to pick another 3 winners tonight. So we'll be posting that near the end. I'll be posting it. So make sure to go check out the page that we give you to see if you're one of the winners for Chad's advanced GMB training. He's got an entire training. We've kind of mentioned it on the last live. I think there's like 50 or 60 JKers in there. We've got some awesome bonuses and whatnot. But we're going to give away 3 slots tonight again for that. So stay tuned for that. Be looking for your name to see if you're a winner on the link that I give you in the description below near the end of this live stream. But go ahead. Yeah, kind of give them the update on the software.
Yeah, so really quick, I wanted to give you an update on the software. People that have the newest Mac OS, there's some issues there with that newest Mac OS, and we're actually fixing that as we speak. So if you've got, I think it's Sierra 13 point, I can't remember what number it was, but those guys that have that OS were having an issue. So we're fixing that. So I know there are people posting in the group about it. We'll be posting an update on that for everybody, and maybe even shoot an email out to everybody too, what to see. Sure. But we'll have that fixed. So
perfect. Hey, and then I just want to say something real quick. Obviously, having Chad on is a luxury, guys. I've asked him to kind of take his time to do this with us and share some of these awesome kind of strategies he's picked up over the last 10 years plus. What I don't want to do is pick up another job for Chad where he's got to be in the JK group answering questions from these live streams. For people that end up joining his advanced GMB, that will be kind of the section for that. That's kind of part of the bonus of being able to connect with him directly and ask him questions. So please don't post questions in the JK group that are for Chad other than on this live stream. We'll answer them in the stream tonight. But for the rest, I would just encourage you to jump into that advanced GMB training if you want to kind of dive deeper and be able to access Chad, his brother Seth, and their team. They'll be in there kind of answering questions for the paid members area for ongoing stuff. That won't be done in the JK group, and we won't be approving those messages in here just because I don't want to give him a job of handling 3,000 clients that aren't his clients. So trying to save you guys, save you some extra question answering. But on tonight's live stream, ask away, ask away.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it can move really fast in the group there. So yeah, it's good. Good. Well, let's dive into some citation stuff. And again, you might have gotten this in your email, but I want to briefly just explain it. This is so we talked last time about black hat links and how you don't want to use those types of links on your lead gen. You don't want to use them on like a client site because Google will, slap you and spank you all over the place for using that. I know you guys talk about that in the JK training, but so just briefly, we talked in the last training about how you can actually use those links to point to your citation pages, especially for big citations like Yelp. And that's a great example of one that could take a ton of abuse. And actually you can increase the ranking on Yelp just by shooting some links to it, like that are completely black hat type stuff. So what I do, and I want to just give you the big picture on this, the video goes into a lot of detail. So check your email if you didn't get that video yet. But what you can do when you ask for a link, they always ask you, what text do you want to go with the link? Because they put these links in like fake articles. So they have like a computer generated article, and then they'll put your link right in the middle of it. Or even if it's like an automated like blog comment or something, it'll actually be a chunk of text, blog comment text, that they have auto-generated, and they'll usually have keywords in there like about your local area, about the city, about the niche. So say it's a dentist, say you're linking to like your dentist Yelp page. It'll have like dentist and teeth cleaning, and it'll be like kind of like some sentences in there about that, and your link will be right in the middle. But what I tell them is, make sure when you create that auto-generated text, I want you to give me a citation in that text. And some of these link guys don't understand about citations. They don't even know what that means. But you got to make sure most of them. So the guy in the resources page, we actually have a link to a specific guy you can order from. But any link seller that does black hat links will have usually a little comment area like, do you want to give us any more details about these links that we're blasting out for you? And I always put in there, hey, just make sure to put this name, address, and phone number in somewhere in the text. So then not only do you get a link, say pointing to the Yelp page, you also get thousands of name, address, and phone number citations all over.
Genius.
And you'll see your GMB rank go up for that. And actually, I've even bought link packages from these guys and not said, I don't even want a link. All I want is just you to post the name, address, and phone number everywhere that you've got in your little black hat database of sites where you can post links. And we've actually had in the past, we've had Google auto-generate Google Maps listings for us from that data, just because there was so many dang places on the internet where our name, address, and phone number was listed that Google slurped up all that data and said, man, this must be a business. Let's put it on the map. And then all of a sudden we had a map listing appear. I'm not saying that'll automatically happen to you, but that can happen if you've got enough citations out there. Google will say, wow, that's on a lot of sites. We should make that into a listing. Now, it's an unclaimed listing, obviously, because Google just made it, that no one claimed it. But it's a powerful, powerful tactic. So you can end up within days. I mean, depending on how fast the link seller fulfills the links that you ordered, within days you can have your citations popping up just by the thousands. And so I would encourage you guys to try that out. Again,
so we'll have a link for them in the resource section where they can make an order and push it.
It's already in there. I think the guy that I recommend to order from.
Awesome.
And also some people asked me, which package do I order? And so I recommend you order. He has like different levels. He has like, I can't remember what it's called, but like dirty spam and mid-level spam. And then he's got this thing he calls safe spam. Okay. It's called safe spam, but Just do not point that thing at your client's site, okay? Don't.
Or your lead gen, yeah.
Yeah, or your lead gen.
This is strictly just like if you missed last week's call. Chad was talking about ranking a Yelp page, ranking a good citation source, and you sometimes you do a Google search, and you'll see the business like their site, their maps, their Yelp, their Thumbtack. It's like they take up the whole page. What he's talking about with these really powerful sites is you can have really junky links, but these sites like Yelp are so powerful, you could send junky links to them and it's not going to de-index Yelp. They're just too big of a business. But you would never, ever, 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 ever send these links to your main money sites. And I know people that are brand new in here have no idea what we're talking about. This is advanced stuff. So just so you guys, if you joined in the last few days, like, hey, stick into the training before you watch these videos. We're like 10 years into the future of being online. So this is good stuff to refer to at a later time. But yeah, it's a great tactic.
Yeah. And it's because, so then what you're doing is not only are you helping to rank your GMB maps listing higher because of the citations, and you're also ranking your Yelp page, or it could maybe not Yelp, maybe could be a MSN, like a Bing local listing or any kind of a big one. You got to pick the big guns.
Yeah.
Like the top 5, they can handle that. And so you're ranking that thing, and then you're also ranking your GMB from the citation, so you get double whammy. And these link sellers don't know anything about local, so they don't know that you're getting like an extra service out of them without them knowing it. They're like, oh, all right, I don't know, we'll put the address in, fine.
Incredible.
And so yeah, so go ahead and jump in to try it now. I would say go for the safe spam first, especially if you're trying it out first. What's safe?
Sounds funny.
Yeah, what safe spam means is basically he's got like a database of, they're like places where he can post articles. And so basically what happens is he posts like, I don't know, hundreds of articles with your link in it. And then on top of that, then he blasts like the dirtier level of spam, which is like guest book posts and fake blog posts and just crazy level stuff. And then he points those at the articles that he wrote. So he creates like multiple tiers. So you've got like this massive cloud of links. They're pointing down to a smaller set of links that are, quote, safe. I mean,
yep, I get it.
It's designed to be less damaging to whatever site it's pointing to, but it kind of collects all that juice. You could think of it like a funnel. You've got like this cloud of links all pointing to like a smaller level of links.
Yep.
And all that link juice kind of collects down the funnel and then eventually points to your Bing local page or your Yelp page or whatever you're pointing it all to.
No matter how safe that spam is, put it on a client site or your own site. Just don't do it.
Don't. Yeah. He would probably tell you that too. I mean, if you straight out ask him, should I point this at my money site? He'd probably say, probably don't,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good. And I want to jump into the next one here.
Okay.
This is related to the software. So let me just share my my screen here. Oh, I need you to let me share it.
Oh yeah, let me help you out there. Oops. All right. Manage participants. Make host. All right, you're good to go right now.
All right, good. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Show you. All right, so you guys can see my the software here, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. So basically what I did, and this is for people who haven't run the software yet. Again, I would definitely get this software for you guys. This is going to shorten your JK process massively. You don't have to manually get all this stuff into a spreadsheet. You can just use the software. It's free. We're never going to charge for it. Well, I don't want to say never, but in the next, foreseeable future, we're not going to charge for it.
Yeah.
So basically what you do is you get your GPS location. I just found this on Google, gpscoordinates.net. I told them I want the GPS coordinates for New York, and it gives me the latitude and longitude right here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put that into the software here, see latitude and longitude. So then the software will do all its searches from that exact GPS point.
Perfect.
And search for dentist, and this is what it brought up. So this is like a quick win and a way to get clients fairly easily because it's such a quick win for them. But you run the software in any area that where you want to try to get a client. This would be not so much for a lead gen, but this would be more for like if you want to do actual Google local SEO for a client, get a client for that. What you do is you scroll over to this owner verified. I'm not sure why it's saying not found, but usually it'll say yes, no for if the owner verified their local listing or not, which means did they get the postcard and did they claim it? And what you can do is these are ranked 1 through 10. Okay, so we know that only the top 3 are going to end up in the local map when you search in Google, right? So the Google only shows 3 at this point.
Right.
So anybody down here, 4 through 10, who is not claimed, you can offer this as a service to them. It's a great way to get your foot in the door for clients and just say, hey, I noticed your listing is not claimed. I can show you how to do this. And a lot of times just from claiming a listing, doing nothing else to it, it can bump up and rank quite a bit. And sometimes it can even bump up into the local pack where they weren't even there before and bump out some of these people. Because again, Google's looking at all these different factors. They're looking at, how many reviews, looking at citations, looking at backlinks on the site and all this stuff. But if you're not claimed, it's a huge ranking factor. Mm-hmm. So just by adding that one claim in for that prospective client, you can bump them in. So you might want to do it as just a lead-in, cheap service that you're going to offer this client to get your foot in the door. You might even want to say, I'll do it for you for free just to show you what I can do. Mm-hmm. But either way, you're going to get a really quick win for them. And it's all automated. So literally you could just wake up in the morning and just run the software on some areas that you want to target. See if you find anybody in 4 through 10 spot that are not claimed, and contact them and see if you can claim it for them. It's really, we know how to do it. We all know how to do it, and it's really easy to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they'll think you're like an internet, magician because like, I don't know what they did. I got this postcard and now I'm ranking and my phone's ringing, just from that. So it's result, and if you offer it for free, then you're offering, results in advance.
Absolutely.
So I know you guys talk about that in JK a lot.
Tons, yeah.
Now, here's another thing you can do to take this up another notch is, now I know I've seen Corey talk about this a bit in the JK group, but targeting businesses that are bigger, that have multiple locations.
Yep.
And because sometimes, and especially if you go for more of a, I know we're always thinking about like service area businesses, we're thinking about plumbers, electricians, stuff like that, targeting them. But if you go for some of the niches that you might not have thought about, like maybe some industrial type niches or like manufacturing or stuff like that, bigger companies, they might have like 10 big locations around the US, and it's more of a corporate setup. Mm-hmm. Those guys have huge marketing budgets. Mm-hmm. Paying you $1,000 a month is like nothing. They're
literally nothing.
They're literally flushing their money down the toilet on billboards, guaranteed. Every month they're paying like $2,000-$3,000 on a billboard and they're not even measuring if they're getting anything out of it. So if you can prove to them, I know what I'm talking about local. You guys have all these things out there. They're not claimed. We really need to get them so they're showing up in Google search, in the local search results. Not only are you going to be able to provide them a quick win by claiming their pages, but you're going to be able to charge them a lot more. And it's like getting, if they have 10 locations, that's like getting 10 clients with only having to sell it one time, because they need optimization for all those listings. And usually it's only one point of contact for all 10. So you're just selling one person on the service. And the way that this is a little different than just, shooting emails to their contact form though. The way the way to contact them is actually through LinkedIn. And so because they're corporate, so if they're corporate, they're probably going to be on LinkedIn. The folks on LinkedIn are and the awesome thing, here's the awesome thing about, well, let me go back to I can't figure out how to get out of my share.
At the very bottom, it says stop share, or at the top, I think it says stop share.
Oh yeah, stop share, there it is. So I was going to say real quick about LinkedIn. The powerful thing about LinkedIn is you've got these big players. You've got one person who's in charge of like their marketing budget, and they don't understand SEO. They don't understand local search, and they can flip a switch and literally pay you thousands of dollars a month, and they probably won't even get a call from the accounting department about it with that little of an amount.
Right.
And so if you can reach a decision maker for that, it can be really powerful. And the other powerful thing about LinkedIn is if you just tried to call this company on the phone and reach that person who's in charge of marketing, you'd never be able to get a hold of them. I mean, there's so many gatekeepers and secretaries and voicemail systems. They might be buried really deep in the organization, and their name might not even be published on the website, but yet they're holding the keys to the local marketing budget.
Right.
And the awesome thing about LinkedIn is that those people most likely have a LinkedIn profile because they're corporate. Sure. And they want to be headhunted. They want people to see. They probably have a resume that's updated on LinkedIn. But the most powerful thing is their LinkedIn, even if they're really high up in the organization, their LinkedIn is probably connected to their personal email address. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, you've probably, if you've had a few jobs, maybe if you've been in corporate America, your LinkedIn follows you. You don't use your corporate email address for your LinkedIn account. That's your own personal resume. And yet they post on there their job title, their function in the organization. And if you send a message to their LinkedIn profile, you're going to reach them personally. You're not going to go through some kind of a gatekeeper system or whatever. There's probably going to be like their Hotmail, their personal Hotmail is going to be where it is. So now stay with me here. So let me show you, let me share my screen again. I'm going to show you how you can reach them, because the thing that LinkedIn has done, of course, they've got all this data and they've got all these contacts that they know are worth a lot of money. So LinkedIn will make you pay them to actually get this person's contact information. And you can go ahead and just pay LinkedIn if you want to do that, but they have a lot of tiers and they limit how many searches you can do. And there's all this sort of limitations on that. But I'm going to show you right now how you can, even if you're on a total shoestring budget, you can actually contact these people without having to pay for it with LinkedIn. So let me go to LinkedIn real quick, and so I can show you what this looks like. All right, just a second. Share my screen again.
This is great because I know literally nothing about LinkedIn because I'm like in the corporate space, and I was like, man, I just want to work in a beanie and my hooded sweatshirt. I don't want to have a tie on ever again. I know. I've always like steered clear of it from any prospecting, but it's such a great resource, you know?
It is. It's awesome. So like typically if you're in LinkedIn and you go in, let's say you go in, this is just a random guy. I literally have not looked at this guy. For you to connect with him or to send him a message, a lot of times it's not going to allow you to do it without paying LinkedIn for it. But if you go down, and a lot of people don't know this, but if you go down to the bottom and you look at their interests, there's this thing in LinkedIn called groups, okay? LinkedIn groups. And what LinkedIn groups, it's basically like, it's the same thing as Facebook groups, but it's on LinkedIn. And if you are down here at the bottom under their interests, they're going to have a list of the groups that they're in. And you can actually message a person on LinkedIn through the group where you wouldn't be able to message them directly through LinkedIn. And so this is a loophole that you can use to bypass the limits that LinkedIn has. And there's actually software you can buy. I'm not going to recommend many because it always changes, but you can buy software that'll actually automate this for you and just shoot messages to people in groups. So you have to join the group. So the next step is, let's just back up here. You've found somebody through the software that is at a bigger level company, and you see how you could help them very easily to optimize their listing. Now you want to find out who's in charge of the marketing and find those people. And you can just find those people by going to the company's page. If you go to the company's page on LinkedIn, it'll list who works there.
How would you?
And it'll list their titles. So let's just go to, I don't know how many people work at this place, Apricus Solar. This is doing it totally on the fly.
Cool.
But let's say we're looking for Apricus Solar. We've got a company, renewables and environment. Look right here, we see all 39 employees on LinkedIn. Okay. And we go through here, and now we scroll down, and we've got all their titles. See here, sales manager, director of operations, sales engineer, relationship manager. And so you want to find someone that's in charge of like marketing, or they might even have someone in charge of local or SEO, someone who's in charge of SEO, search engines, anything like that. You're going to have to go through and find them on here. And here's the other thing, if you don't see anybody like that, you could just message somebody and say, hey, I'm trying to find out who's in charge of your SEO. Who in your organization? I mean, you can just message somebody and ask them. Yep. Again, they're going to get it in their Gmail when they get home from work. So then once you find that person, okay, now you want to be able to message them. And let me just go back to this guy, Brendan. So then you're going to scroll down to the bottom, find the groups that they're in, and join the group. And once you've joined the group, I'm just going to show you what it looks like here. So I'm in a group that's related to solar marketing, okay? And this group only has one person, so it isn't the greatest group. But normally you'll find a whole list of people in the group here. And if there's like hundreds of people in the group, you can actually search for this person right up here where it says find a member. Mm-hmm. And you want to just search for their name. And then you can message them right there. You just scroll over their name and there'll be a link. Message them and you can send them a message right there. And I know you guys talk about like doing like screencasts and stuff like that. So at that point, you're in the JK process. Right. You've got your prospect, you've got who you want to contact, you've got a templated email that you're sending out, or you made a custom screencast for them, and you're shooting them out. And you could integrate this into your JK prospecting
absolutely
process and just start nailing. I would encourage you guys just at least a couple times a week, try to go for some big guns, try to go for some of the big dogs, because it's just a numbers game. These people here, they're just people. I know they work for like a huge company. You might say, oh man, I don't know how I could ever sell myself to a big company, but they're just people. And believe me, what you know from JK, you know more about SEO and local marketing than most of the people that work in these big corporate companies. And especially if you're seeing they don't have photos on their Google listing, their stuff is not claimed, their listing isn't claimed. You know more than them. And so they're going to be impressed the same way that a local business owner would be impressed with that email that you're shooting out to them.
Yeah, I think sometimes we downplay how much we know, but like
totally
simple thing of like just getting a listing verified, we know how powerful it is and how much money it can bring in. And just maybe you've only been doing this for a month or 3 weeks or 2 months, whatever. Like that one little tip, could be the difference of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in sales over the course of the next several years for these businesses. So don't value what you've learned, because it can be incredibly valuable to some of these companies that are missing that part of their business and they're getting beat by the competitor or what have you. So,
Yeah. So I don't know what you guys put in the screen shares, but I mean, bring to their attention, hey, you guys aren't even, when I search for whatever, tool and die shop, or tool and die, Atlanta, Georgia, you're not even in the map. I can show you how to do that. I mean, get their attention with some of that. They know who their competitors are.
Absolutely.
So if you start to list their competitors in there, you start to talk about that. Don't underestimate yourself. You know, you've got some powerful tools in your tool belt that they probably don't have. And the fees you're going to charge are just a drop in the bucket. I mean, they're dropping millions. Most of these companies are dropping millions of dollars marketing on television, billboards, direct mail.
Trade
shows. Oh yeah, we get these marketing things all the time, and it's like, wow. I'm looking at them like, wow, they spent a lot on this, and they don't even have a tracking number or any kind of a coupon code or any way to even tell if this thing worked. So, you know, don't charge them pennies either. You know, go for the high dollar consulting amounts for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and there's smaller companies on LinkedIn too. It's not always the huge ones. But yeah, I would definitely, if you're already doing like screen shares and shooting out emails and you've got a schedule going for yourself, just spend a day or two a week trying to get some of those big dogs, get them in your funnel and try to get.
Well, I mean, you know what? Hey, their money's still green.
It is. And there's a lot of it. I mean, corporate America, you know, there's a lot of money there. And they'll pay a lot more than a local shoe shop, you know, or local shoemaker or whatever is going to pay for marketing services. They're expecting, I don't know. I just made that up all the time. Shoemaker.
Well, Geppetto over there.
Yeah, we're back to the Middle Ages here. Oh man. Yep. But and actually, let me say one other thing about that. If you're going for corporate sales, actually, if you don't charge enough, you're probably shooting yourself in the foot because they're going to say, oh, he's small time.
Absolutely.
He's a small time player. He's not charging enough. So the more you charge, they're going to assume, oh, wow, this guy knows what he's doing, or this lady knows what she's doing. She's charging, you know, above $1,000 for a consultation. And then they're going to know the kind of chops you have. So
absolutely.
Even if you don't feel like you have those chops, put the number out there. Don't choke on it. Just put it out there and charge them.
Absolutely.
They need it. I mean, they need it from you. So, all right, good. I'm going to jump to the next one. You guys ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
All right.
Fire us off some likes, some hearts in the group here if you're liking what you're seeing here. This is good stuff. I mean, the citations, that I know that some of you guys got that email today that have been on Chad's list, gmbking.com if you guys want to get on his email list. He sends out tips and tricks. But you set that out. That's a killer. I didn't know that. That's just like such an easy little technique that you can add to that strategy you gave us last week.
Yeah. Yep.
LinkedIn stuff, it's all new stuff to me. So I'm just like kind of letting it all soak in, but killer stuff. And I know you have some incredible techniques probably in the future we'll share in the group on LinkedIn stuff.
Yep.
And I'm loving this stuff. I think everyone else is as well. And that software, just to kind of recap, and I had a bunch of questions. It works in Australia. It works in UK, Canada.
Everywhere. Anywhere you can put a GPS.
Okay, cool.
You can put a GPS location. It'll work. So you just give it GPS.
Last night.
Yep.
I knew it did. I just wanted to hear it from you. So.
Yep. Yeah, we actually did that so that you could sell a client in Australia if you want. I mean, I don't know if you're in the US, maybe that wouldn't make sense, but I'm saying you could. If you're in the UK and you want to target US people, you could do it just by changing the GPS. You can get the different data. So
perfect. All right, let's roll.
All right, let's talk about YouTube. I want to talk about YouTube, and you might say, why are we talking about YouTube when we're supposed to be talking about local? Last session, I encourage you to watch it if you didn't. I talked about, and we talked a little bit earlier about ranking Yelp pages, ranking Bing pages in the local search. Another powerful page that you can rank, you might not think of this as a citation page, but if you have a YouTube video with your name, address, and phone number, that's also a citation. So that can not only help you on that end as a citation, but you can also rank a YouTube video fairly easily in Google. And because YouTube is owned by Google, they claim they don't give any preferential treatment to YouTube, but it's if you look at their search results, it's obvious they prefer to show a YouTube video over some other platform because it's their own property, and then they keep all their money, that they keep all that traffic in their own properties. So, and you can actually see people doing it. So I just did a search for Dennis to Chicago to see if I could see anybody, but who's doing it, but you can see, like, look at this: cosmetic dentist, Chicago best cosmetic dentist, Chicago. That's obviously an SEO person, right? Obviously, you don't want to do it this blatantly, and you actually don't need to keyword spam the heck out of the thing. But those backlinks that I told you about, the darker side of backlinks, you can also send them to a YouTube video to rank it. And you could also send some of the links available in JK, some of the PBN type links and stuff like that. You can send those to YouTube video to rank it. And it's hard because there's not an exact formula for doing this, because it really depends on how competitive a market you're in.
Totally.
If you're doing like, cancer, if you're doing like a personal injury lawyer Chicago, it's going to be very much more competitive than, say, personal injury lawyer in like a town of 30,000. It's going to be more people competing for those spots, but it's not going to take as much link power to rank a YouTube video as it would to rank like a regular lead gen site that you make,
right?
Because Google prefers it. And the awesome thing about it's even better is a thumbnail will appear in the Google results. So this lady with her teeth, this giant screenshot is going to appear in Google search results and take up a bunch of space on that page to push your competitors off the bottom of page 1. We all know nobody really goes past page 1. So then what effectively can happen is you can have your listing in the map, then you can have a YouTube video with a big old thumbnail taking up a bunch of space, and people are going to tend to...
Check this out. This is from when I learned this from you way back when. I just pulled it up. Here, make me the host real quick.
All right, let me... how do I do that?
Click over on participants at the bottom, and then you can click on me and make me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just, sorry to mess your flow up, but I just
No, that's cool. That's cool. I want to see what you got to... Okay,
yeah.
I think I just made you the host.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll share my screen here. Continue. There we are. So this was like back, you guys can see the date on this.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect.
The thumbnail I put, this is for the business I ended up buying.
I love that thumbnail, man.
Yeah, we made this thumbnail because a black background with yellow writing is they did a study on this on actual billboards. You can see it from the farthest away distance. Okay.
Nice.
So all my thumbnails, I would, once I learned that, I'd start moving to black backgrounds with yellow writing, and I just create the thumbnails, and then they're like, I call it like little mini billboards for me in the search results. So the YouTube video is showing up for me. It's fallen because I have it messed. This is on like the mid page 2, but it used to be right up at the top of page 1 for Window Tuning Eugene. Actually, let's see, Window Tuning Eugene, Oregon. Let's see if it's still there. So our maps is number 1. This was all learned from one of my very first clients, and then I ended up buying it, right? Our website's number 1, right? And then
this is totally what you want to do. You want to dominate that page. Yep.
And then looks like that thing's fallen off of page 1, but I could, with some more links, it's top of page 2. I could fire it back up there, right?
Yeah, you're almost there.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably get into this in a second.
The challenger would.
I want to say I did a bunch of crazy stuff back.
Nice.
Trying stuff, but I'll give you it back over.
You can keep that up because I was going to just show.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I was going to show. This is a great example of what you can do now. Listing keywords like that isn't as effective as it used to be.
Yep.
But what I would encourage you to do in this spot where he's got all these keywords listed, I would actually just put an article, like a 300 to 400 page article. Try to include as many of those keywords.
A page, 340 pages or words?
No, words. Sorry, words.
Yeah,
Did I say pages?
Yeah, you said pages. It's all good.
A novel.
Yeah.
No, just the 300, 400 words of an article, and just put it right in that description. You might say, man, that's a massive amount of text. But what Google's looking for is this an original? Does this video have original content that's different from anything else we're showing on page 1? And if it's original enough and it has what looks like good content to them, they're going to want to put that on page 1. So then that was one of the steps, is you want to put 300 to 400 words of an article right here. Try to include as many of those keywords as you can in the article.
Mm-hmm.
And this can actually be, so this is a great example because this can actually be a rental in its own right, because you could switch up the business that you list on this page.
Totally.
So you can sell this spot to your lead gen clients and say, hey, I've also got a YouTube video, and they can go look at it and say, here's how many views it has, you know, and we can put your name and your phone number right up here. And you can actually switch out the thumbnail as well whenever you want. So let's say you've got one lead gen, and then you switch it out to, you start selling those leads to somebody else. You can just change the name, address, and phone number on that. And now all of a sudden you're renting it out to somebody else. So I'd encourage you, when you set this up, don't make it specific to a certain business.
Right.
Unless you're, I mean, obviously, unless you're doing this specifically for a client that you have.
Right.
But if you're doing it for a lead gen, try to make it general and make it in such a way that you can switch up the name, address, and phone number if you need to, and that it would still make sense if you changed that. But yeah, this is a powerful real estate. I mean, this thing takes up a ton of real estate when you've got those thumbnails. And I was going to talk about this too, so just leave this. I'm glad you got this up.
Yeah.
So the other thing you want to do is you can see there how he's got window tinting Eugene, Oregon with the phone number right there on the top of the video.
Yep.
The black background with the white text.
Yep.
That's what's called an annotation. And so when you click into edit your video, it's really easy. You just click on the annotations button, and you can add text that will actually show up on top of the video. So that way, when people are watching it, they've got the lead gen phone number right there across the whole thing. Because someone's going to click away from Google, and now they're going to be watching this video. So you want to, don't make the actual video be about a certain client either, because then if you ever lose that lead gen client, you're going to have to change the actual content of the video, which you don't want to have to do. So make the video, you don't want to make it look just lame and stupid, but make it be kind of generic so that it could apply for instance, any window tinting business. And then you could even maybe switch it up, use it for multiple geographic areas and stuff like that.
Right.
So you might say, well, how do I make a video? So this looks, I don't know how you made this. This looks like a little more professional.
This actually was our shop was featured on the Graveyard Cars. So we just took the actual video from the national TV show Graveyard Cars that was actually filmed in Eugene, and we tinted this guy's windows for free.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So you could do that. You could use I mean, if you just blatantly copy stuff, you might get some copyright issues with YouTube. So like, obviously this was about your shop, so you could use it, but it's really easy to make a video. You can even make a video just like a screencast video, like you're watching right now.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And just, it's actually, there's this free software that you can use that we have our outsourcers use. And it's called, what is it called? No, I forgot the name.
I know we've used so many in the past. I'm trying to find one of them right now, but
yeah.
I kind of like the screencast video. You know, you bring up like a site, your lead gen site or whatever, you know, generic or whatever. And then you could just talk right over the top of it. I think too, obviously, Google or YouTube listens to the words that are being said in these videos now because they're basically transcribing everything. So we did a test a little while back and it killed it. And it was really funny. We literally just said this keyword over and over. It was the creepiest video.
That is funny.
We're like, hair shears.
That is funny.
Hair shears. And we just kept saying it for like 5-10 minutes. And this video went to #1 because it was our actual voice instead of just like a music overlay of like a generic video. And that just goes to show you like how much they're listening and like transcribing all of these different, you know, videos that are on YouTube.
Yep. Yeah. It's Monosnap. Monosnap is the one we really like.
Spell for us?
Yeah. Can you go to Monosnap? Yeah. Just Monosnap. This is 100% free, and you're on a Mac, so it's showing you the Mac. They also have it for PC, and they have, let's see here. Yeah, so it can do screen capture. It can get your actual video, like of your face too, off your webcam if you want to do that. Sometimes it's a nice personal touch. But yeah, you can literally just, if you're doing window tinting, I mean, you can do like some screenshots of different window tinting things, just talk through it. You can pause and play if you're trying to catch what you're trying to say. It's really easy. Don't get too choked up about making these videos, because again,
Right.
you're just trying to get them out there, get them ranked, and throw them out there. Get them on YouTube.
Free, right? Like this
free.
This right here didn't cost me anything. This literally
Exactly.
just getting an extra spot, and now you can see this is actually on page 1 for the business name, which actually generated the most search for our business, was the name of our business, because we've been around for a while.
Yeah,
And
nice.
right there, it's taking up a spot instead of my competitor taking up a spot for my name.
Yep. Yeah, and you can also use this for, if some of you folks might be trying to break into markets where there isn't a map pack. I don't know if you talk about that at all in JK, but sometimes for local searches, there's no map. And it might still be a viable business, but for whatever reason, Google hasn't figured out that keyword search needs to have a map. And so this is a great way to capitalize on some of those opportunities, because you'll be the eye catcher out of all the things on Google's first page. Your YouTube video will be the thing people will click on first, because it's got that big thumbnail. And you could actually have if you really want to measure it, you could have a tracking number in the thumbnail and see how many people, because some people might not even click on it. They might just look and be, 5414617,000, and just punch it into their phone.
Sure, that's the whole idea why we did that,
Yep. Yeah, and so it's really YouTube I would encourage you guys to capitalize on YouTube. It doesn't take a lot of time. It can handle some of the lower level backlinks as well that are automated and cheap to get. And just test it out. I mean, literally, you guys in the next half an hour, you could download Monosnap, you could record a screencast, get it up on YouTube, and get some backlinks blasted to it by the end of the day, and just see what happens in your market. It's really worth trying. So
absolutely.
Good. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about local guides again.
Okay.
And because this is a local guides trick that I like to use. And let me just, hold on a sec. Hold on, let me get to my local guides here page, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. All right, can I share? Yeah, I can. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so we talked a little about local guides, and I challenged you guys to give it a shot on your phone. I don't know if anybody tried to just create a listing on local guides. In the actual paid course, we get a lot into local guides, and we talk about some ninja tricks for getting your stuff approved automatically, and stuff I'm not going to talk about here. But basically, with local guides, the higher, you can see those levels there, the higher the local guides level that you are, the more likely you are to get auto approval on the changes that you make to the map. And so that's why I was saying, if you go, like Dan was saying, he's a level 5, so he's got 500 points. Right. A lot of times with level 4 and 5, you can already add locations. Wow. There are some limits to that, and we talk a lot about that in the full course. We talk about how to get around those limitations. There's a lot of detail to really making local guides work on a large scale. But if you decide to go this route and get some local guides listings, because they're quick to put up. I mean, literally, all you need is an address and a phone number that you can get through the JK, through the call sling. And boom, you can just try it out. Try to put one out there, and you might find yourself ranking very, very quickly without even having to claim your listing at all. So what you can do, a trick you can do, and this is, I want to talk to the people that are in the paid Easy Local Cash course too, because you'll be able to really apply this from the local guides videos in there, is if you decide to try to go this route and add some local guides listings, you can actually put them on an address where you could receive a postcard if you want to. And you might say, well, why would I want to do that? Why wouldn't I just go ahead and just get the postcard? And that's because, let's say we talked about using like a mom and pop sort of mailboxes store in your downtown area to get your postcard. Well, you have to pay. So you have to rent the mailbox. You have to go in there, you have to sign the paper and register the mailbox and all that stuff. Then you go out and you try to get your listing out there. This is a quick way you can actually test to see how fast would this rank, how easy would it be to rank in this area for my niche. Because with local guides, you throw it up there, it takes less than 5 minutes. Once you've got your accounts set up, how we teach in the course, it takes like less than 5 minutes to get a listing out. Some of those listings are going to rank right away, or you might see them ranking, maybe they're ranking in number 4 or number 6 on Google Maps. And man, if I could just bump it up 2 slots, I would be in the local pack. And it's a way you can cheaply test, do I want to spend the money to go ahead and register this mailbox and get the postcard and go through the whole set up a lead gen website and everything without having to do any of that? You can just test the market and see where you land.
Yeah, it's like a poking method almost, like
exactly.
Yeah.
And so maybe it doesn't work, maybe it doesn't rank. You only spent 5 minutes and a phone number, and it's like, man, you're just move on to the next one. And you don't have to go through that whole process to only find out later, wow, this. And also we use this to test new markets when we want to see, are there calls? Are people calling? How hot is this market? How easy do they convert? You could find out all that stuff by just getting some local guides listings out there and testing out the market for free, really, without having to bother with postcards or anything. Then the awesome thing is, if you set it up at an address where you could get a postcard, so let's say you've got this mom and pop shop that you're like, well, if I needed to get a postcard, I could. Then you claim it. They say send a postcard, you click send a postcard, and you already know where that postcard is going to go because you picked the address ahead of time to be a place where you could convert it over to like a white hat listing if you wanted to. And this is a trick. I probably shouldn't even be sharing this, but we have used this a ton to test markets. It's a great way to test markets. Quick, fast, low commitment, and just see how it goes. And so there might be some markets you're kind of knocking around in your head thinking, man, I wonder if that would be a good one. Local guides is the way to do it. And again, like I said, if you've been doing some reviews and you've been kind of being helpful on Google Maps here and there on your phone, it might allow you to just add a listing right now without any extra work at all. So I'd encourage you guys to give it a shot.
Yeah, they give you 15 points per the guide if you add a.
Yeah, if you add a place, you get 15 points. So you can see the one, I mean, the 5 pointers are really the ones to do. If you're trying to build up a local guides account, you want to try to go for the 5 pointers. We've tried, let me say some things don't to try, because some smart people on here are going to try this. Don't try to build up an account all with photos. Okay. We tried that. We're like, this is so easy. I had an outsourcer get like 1,000 photos and we just went crazy. And we got up to level, 6 or 7, within 3 or 4 days. Didn't work. So don't do that. I'm not going to give all the tricks for actually how to do it, because there's a little bit to it in the members area, but in general, you need to have a variety of contributions. And that's why I say some people might be able to just do it on their phone right now, because if you're just naturally saying, oh, this is the wrong address, or you're just naturally kind of leaving reviews, or you take a picture of your food and upload it, and there's a big variety of edits on your local guides account, it might just let you add locations right away.
Right.
It's probably not going to let you add 1,000 plumber listings from your phone today, no. But you could do 1 or 2. So, but that's a great way to kind of walk the line between white hat and black hat, and just utilize the black hat side of things and then convert it over to a regular postcard listing when you decide you want to enter that market. All right, good. So number six. I wanted to go back to Wikipedia, and you guys might see, man, why is this guy talking about harp on Wikipedia so much? Wikipedia. Oh shoot, how do I get to? How do I get to Wikipedia? Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Swahili Wikipedia. Okay, this is an underground trick, guys. We talk a lot about Wikipedia. Just so you know, Wikipedia in Swahili is wide open, and I'm not even sure if they're even editing it right now, or like the edits. I mean, they're editing it, but I don't know if anyone's even monitoring the edits. So we actually have a source, and Dan's going to talk about this a little bit, but we have a source where we can get you these links in Swahili. Now, if anyone on this call happens to speak Swahili, then you won't need to utilize this. But Swahili and other sort of let's say like languages that are not as popular in the world, those sections of Wikipedia are usually kind of forgotten and lost. And there might be actually a smaller percentage of the population that speaks that language that's actually literate. And so they're usually desperate for content. There's very few editors. And this is a little trick. If you know a foreign language like this, you really can get a lot of links from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is a user moderated platform. So when you make an edit to it, other people check your edit, and there's no centralized staff in Wikipedia that's like monitoring it. It's all done by all the users of Wikipedia. So if you can find a section of Wikipedia that's not that popular, or a language that maybe doesn't have a ton of literate people percentage wise, you're going to be able to get a lot of links in fairly easily. So Dan, I don't know if you want to talk about
No, just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, just you can keep rolling on it. I know that you have like a source that you didn't want to necessarily give up the name, but I think what I asked him to do is if they could get it through the store so that he doesn't have to give up the source is all. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah. So anyway, so here, this is just Swahili is something we could actually provide just a done for you in the JK site.
Yeah.
I don't really want to give away my source, but we could contact him for you guys and do all that. But it's a principle I want you to think about Wikipedia, because if you try to go and make an edit right now in the English Wikipedia, it's very difficult. And actually in the paid course, we have like a whole section just on Wikipedia, because I really believe it's super valuable just for local. But there are areas of Wikipedia like Swahili and other languages like that are not very popular, and that there aren't many editors at all, if any. There might only be a handful of people even editing that whole entire section of Wikipedia, but it still has the same authority as a backlink. And so we've actually used this exact section of Wikipedia to get backlinks to our citations, because we've got a guy, he can put an article out and link to 3 or 4 of our citations all on one Wikipedia page. And then we watch those bump up. We're talking about taking over real estate on the first page of Google, just actually doing nothing else to the citation other than a Wikipedia link. Like that's it. We've seen it bump up onto the first page of Google, because Google really takes note if there's a Wikipedia link pointing to something, because it's so difficult to get for the most part, unless you know what you're doing. Wikipedia really takes note. I mean, Google takes note. And if you notice, Google loves Wikipedia. I mean, a huge percentage of searches, if you do a search, a Wikipedia article is going to be on the first page. And that's why I spent so much time talking about it. It can really provide some serious authority. And again, in the course, we talk about how to get links on the English Wikipedia, which isn't, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't take that much time. But if you're looking for a shortcut, or you're looking to get a lot of links, go for the foreign languages like this, Swahili. And if you know someone, or you speak a language that's maybe a small percentage of the world speaks it, it can be a powerful, powerful tool, especially for ranking citation pages.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's that. And I don't know. Do you want to talk about the service, or you want to just?
Oh, I'll link to the resource at some point for that. If people want to grab that, we'll figure out how to make it all available.
Good.
I did want to briefly just kind of explain. I'm going to go over to Easy Local Cash real quick. If you guys haven't checked it out, this is kind of where Chad's entire training is hosted. We kind of went over it. Can you see my screen yet? Nope, not yet.
Oh, do I need to make you the host again?
No, I got it.
Okay.
So I'm over at Easy Local Cash with Chad's kind of entire, course here. It's very in depth, right? But I wanted to actually speak about this kid. No, I was joking. I wanted to speak. Honestly, guys, I've stared at this. I love this little guy. If you're in a bad mood, watch him for like 5 minutes on loop, and you're gonna just be smiling from ear to ear. This guy is so awesome. Look at that guy. How can you not love that little guy? Anyway, so
that's awesome.
I wanted to talk about this a little bit more in depth, just to understand it, because I don't think I didn't personally explain it great enough, because I was probably so excited that it was going to be a bonus.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about what it is a little bit more and how it was created, because in my opinion, I was talking to my brother about this, and I think my brother back like 9 years ago was the one that told me to initially buy your training, and I went and bought it, and then went off and like crushed it. And so I was telling him about having you on and how cool it was, and then I was telling him what you did with this list, and he was totally blown away. And I'm like, you know what? I don't think we actually explained it well enough, because this thing's worth so much money for anyone that's a real player in local. And the fact that we have this, that you can't buy it anywhere, and you guys have done this through basically having so many listings and like basically pulling the data of when Google calls you, right?
Yep. Yeah, basically, if Google, because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have some lead gen GMBs, you're probably getting phone calls from Google. You might not even know you are if you're not looking for them, but they do call. And it seems like nowadays they call almost every listing. And so that's why it's really important, because they might not get to you right away, but eventually they're going to want to call the number on that listing, and make sure this is a business that's actually.
Check this out. Right when we started, you see that?
Yep.
Mountain View, California.
There you go. Right there.
They called me this morning at 9:28. They knew I was on with Chad, and they were trying to run interference. They didn't want him to give away all the secrets.
Yep.
So keep going. Keep kind of explaining this.
I was just going to say, so they're just calling just to check and to make sure, is this a real business? Does the phone number work? I mean, there's some legitimate reasons why they would need to know. Is this even a phone number that works? Does the business pick up the phone and answer it like a business, or is it like a mistake in someone's cell phone? There's a lot of reasons they want to make sure they're verified, their data is accurate, but they're also checking for lead gen type listings like we all set up. And so you want to make sure when Google calls that you get the call, or someone trained gets the call, because they're going to ask a few questions that are really simple. But say you've got all your phone calls going to a lead gen, your lead gen calls going to one of your businesses you're selling them to, they might not be prepared to answer a bunch of questions from Google, and they might hang up on Google and say, what is this telemarketer, and just hang up. Well, if the guy on the other line of Google's like, well, that guy's got to pull up his butt, he can just literally click a button and delete your lead gen. So these calls are really important to catch, and that's why we made the list.
So to kind of like, can you see my CallSling screen?
Yeah.
So when I found this out from Chad months back, I went to the dev team and I created a section in CallSling that says, none of you guys probably noticed it. It says reroute numbers. Okay. And so reroute numbers, I can literally come in here and and this is what we're going to do as this bonus. We're going to upload this entire list in here. So you won't get a physical list. We're going to upload it into your personal CallSling, and it only will work inside of our CallSling platform because we can't give out the list per the agreement. But we can put this reroute list into your CallSling account, and then you're going to be able to reroute it to the destination you want. So instead of, if I'm doing a lead gen site for my boxing coach, let's say, and I know he's not going to answer and know what to say to Google, nor do I want to train him, I could reroute those calls to me or to a call center. And so I just want people to understand that it's such an incredible thing. As you guys saw, like Google just called me, right? They just called one of my numbers. I don't know why. Who knows? They're probably looking for me. But it's like so having this list and like what obviously, you know, he's continuing to update it and things like that. But just even if you can catch or save one of your products or projects that could get unverified because of your business owner was being silly, you know? Yeah. So I wanted to kind of go over that because to me, based on kind of how this is selling right now, it's selling to the JK students only at $9.99, or you can pay 2 payments or 3 payments. But this, in my opinion, this list alone is worth the price of admission. 10.
Yeah, can I just say, so we had to custom, I mean, what you guys are getting here is so powerful. We had to custom create. I mean, like we had to custom program a system to do this for us. Plus, not to mention just the trial and error of the time involved to catch all those caller IDs and get them on a list. This is a massive value. I mean, I don't even know I don't even know how much money it costed us to build this thing. So yeah, it's awesome. It's a great thing you guys got going with CallSling too. I mean, that's
yeah, there's some pretty interesting things that we've built in. That's just another feature because I was like, man, there's value in being able to reroute that stuff. Absolutely. Or even citation calls, rerouting those. You know, that's another way you can use it. We're working on a citation suppression list as well. Haven't got that done yet. But
that's a great idea too. Yep.
But yeah, and so, you know, kind of just to go over, guys, now that, you know, first of all, thanks, Chad, for 6 awesome new free tips, tricks, tactics. These are all great things we can all add. I just want to kind of like go over just briefly. I know people have probably been like, there's some people poking around. They've seen it for the last few days. Kind of what it's very advanced stuff, right? So this is an advanced training. This is like, you know, many people have been in JK for 2 and 3 and 4 years. So this is kind of like a next progression for a lot of folks to kind of up their game, up their tool set. If you're brand new, it's probably not for you. You shouldn't be messing around with this. Maybe look at it at a later date or buy it now and wait to go through it later. But it's just, I want to just kind of show you all the course stuff here because it's so in depth, so many techniques and tactics and tricks. Like you can see how much works went into this. And just from the free information we've been given on this call, the free information you give is like what most guys, because I buy a lot of trainings and courses, it's like what most guys is in their actual course content. So it's such a valuable set of training. And I just think it's a great addition to our tool set, you know? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And we just updated the entire thing too. So it's all updated stuff. We went through, audited the whole thing and updated everything. It actually worked out really great because we literally updated the whole course. And then me and Dan ended up talking about bringing it in to you guys on JK. So this is really current stuff in there. Or at least if the video is not brand new, we've thoroughly audited the entire thing. I actually have a guy that goes through all the courses and audits them all, make sure they're all up to date. And the other bonus I wanted to talk about is the local guides. There's a local guides video in there that talks about, and if you already bought the course, you know which, I want to make sure to tell you which one it is so that you watch it before we take it down. But this stuff is so current. I mean, literally, this is like, we just developed this stuff like in the last couple months about really scaling local guides using some mobile technology and some GPS tricks and stuff that works really well. And I wanted to offer this to you guys, but I'm kind of afraid of it getting leaked out somehow because I don't know anyone who knows how to do this. So I'm offering this video to you guys as a bonus during this promotion period, but then once everyone gets a chance to watch it, we're going to take it down. So in the course, it's in the local guides section, and it says specifically that it's the bonus video. But Dan, if you just scroll up a little bit, there's, I think local guides is in the list of, right here, Google Maps local guides program. So these are in there, but there's an additional video in there that's super current, cutting edge stuff using the mobile technology. That is a bonus just for this promotional period as well.
And then there's going to be a private Facebook group. I don't suspect, we're kind of nutso, so I want to set clear expectations. This isn't JK. It's not a $6,000. You guys aren't paying for a $6,000 program. So make sure you guys, it might not go on for the rest of your life like JK has went for many of you guys. There may be like, I know you do things kind of like on an annual basis oftentimes where you kind of have some renewals and things like that, but just know that you're going to have that access so you can ask kind of specific questions to all this training that you go through in there to Chad and his team.
Yep.
So that's that. But yeah, I mean, I think the kind of the game plan, just as we told you guys last week, was my sales team, my sales crew. Many of you, I've talked to many of you JKers about kind of joining that. I've been going through applications and talking to you guys. Now, there's many of us. We're going to start selling this just strictly over the phone. This is being kind of released at that 66% discount or so to the group. We're going to leave it open at the current pricing for the next 48 hours. So I would say make your move. If this is something you've kind of been on your wish list, there's the payment plan. So if you need that route, do that route. And then there's going to be a slight price increase. And we're going to kind of slightly price increase it over the next several weeks. But in the next 48 hours will be the first price increase. So you'll have your best value, the best stuff now. And then the phone list is for the first 100 as a bonus. So that phone list is going to be for the first 100. That's what we've set it up as now. Currently, I think there's 59 students in the group is what it is since last Thursday when we released it. So you got, 31, 41 spots left in that bonus period. So with that, again, thanks for taking the time out of your Tuesday to hang with us, give us ideas and whatnot. And guys, just please honor Chad, and you can ask the questions in this thread, but we're not going to do questions inside the JK group. That will be for his kind of paid member section so we can serve them at the highest level possible. With that being said, we'll catch you on the next one, man.
Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.